Up, everybody? Let's tie some jigs. We'll get right into this. I think we're gonna tie some murder hornet pattern jigs, maybe. Don't hold me to that. Let me see what I got over here first. We might just tie some monkey milk jigs. Everybody likes monkey milk jigs. Nope, I have an order for those, so I need to save the rest of that. But we do have a piece of this chenille. So yeah, we're gonna tie some jigs and give some jigs away. But for starters, since we're just now getting on here, we're gonna tie some jigs with some peacock feathers and wait till some people tune in. I have some really weird feathers. I wanna try tying some different stuff since we've got other stuff. Let's tie some stuff we've never tied before. We'll need this at some point, so we'll go ahead and get it out. We'll need this yellow. What's up, one person watching? Let's see, maybe because the Wi-Fi's on, it makes it fly off. I don't know how that got in here. Let's see what all we got in here. Pretty cool. Yeah, let's tie some jigs that are just some one-offs for personal use, just to get into things. This is definitely going to be a one-off because I'm very limited on these feathers. Some of the other stuff I have a little bit of an abundance of, but for the most part, this is what I got of this kind of feather. We are going to be doing a giveaway today. We're going to tie some murder hornet jigs, probably mail out 3 jigs. Yeah, let's tie some jigs with these. Check out these feathers, guys. Let me get some very interesting feathers. Very interesting. And we're gonna use a peacock instead of chenille. What's up, Steven? Yeah, so we're tying something new. This is a jig we've never tied before. Let's get into it. What's up? I gotta find my stuff, guys. Here we go. Didn't have to look too far. And the whip. I don't know where it went. There it is. All right, let's get right into it. This won't be the jig that we're gonna give away, the murder hornet, or I might give we might give one of these jigs away. I'll tie a few of them. Like I said, they'll be one-offs, so I've never tied them. Nobody else will ever have them. No, I'm just tying jigs. This thread, I need to go put some soap on this bobbin, but I don't feel like doing it right this minute. All right, so how do we want to do this? We're just gonna take that feather and we're gonna come down about an inch. We're gonna clip it there. Like I said, guys, nobody else will have this jig, for sure. I don't know what it's going to look like when it gets wet in the water or anything. I don't know nothing about it. No fishing today. Sky Fishing, what's up? We're gonna tie in one more piece of feather after this one, just for fullness. Thanks, I appreciate it. Let's see, let's find another piece of feather, guys. We're gonna have to dig out one more piece out of here for this jig. I might as well pour them all out. We'll just use this pack and then we'll move on to something else, to the what we're gonna give away. Or we can just do all these one-offs as a giveaway. I don't really like that feather. Yeah, there we go, that's a good one. Let's cut us a section out of there. The cool part is coming up, guys. Yeah, I'm in the United States. The cool part is coming up. Not only are these feathers cool, because like I said, I've never seen anyone else use them for tying jigs, maybe for tying flies, but never for tying crappie jigs. But watch this part. This is the cool part. We need to actually build this body up a little bit. Oh, that's pretty cool. What's the fishing like over there? All right, what do you guys think about that pattern so far? It looks pretty good to me. Let's, where did I set them peacock feathers? Right here. This is a pretty cool part, guys. I've been playing around with these peacock feathers on a couple jigs, and I've been liking them quite a bit. So, you see how it's shiny? I don't really know how well that's going to show up on camera. See, when you turn it at different angles, it has green and stuff. Fishing for sardines. Trigili or sardine. Sorry if I'm murdering that, because I have no idea. Release to grease, what's up? Peacock curl, yeah. Says that right here. Uh-oh. Peacock curl. Well, thank you, sir. Now, this is a little bit different way of tying the jig. Like I said, I'm using this Peacock curl, as Leroy mentioned. Instead of using this for a dry fly or whatever fly, I'm actually going to use it for the replacing the chenille. And guys, this is not beneficial. You know, this is no way a profitable jig to tie. When people are selling jigs that catch crappie at $2.50 each, I'm going to zoom you guys in a minute. I want you guys to see how cool this looks. This is like the third jig that I've tied with this Peacock curl. And I'm really slow at it. I'm not that, you know, I just now started using it for chenille. And I've got plenty of different kinds of chenille. I just think that it looks freaking wicked sick, and I've never seen nothing quite like it. So I've been liking it quite a bit. Now, durability and stuff, I have no idea how well this stuff is going to hold up long term. But we'll take some fishing and we'll figure it out. I have not the slightest clue. And it's a little bit trickier to tie off at the end than chenille is. Chenille is, you know, there's threads to grab onto. Caught more crappie on that red jig. It's quickly becoming my favorite. Well, I appreciate it. Come on. All right, guys. This is the tricky part. What I was telling you guys about. Like, there's nothing to grab onto. There we go. I managed to get it that time, luckily. When I zoom you guys in, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. And the fish, they can't see none of the stuff that I'm about to show you. They can't see the texture. see. You see the texture? Like you can see the rows in between there. And then let's zoom you guys back out just a little bit. And then it's got like, it's green and reflective, guys. It's pretty cool, guys. So I'm kind of digging it. I want to see if it makes a difference using natural materials versus man-made materials for crappie. I don't think that's really going to make that big of a difference, but I want to try it anyways. Yeah, we're going to put this one in the drawing giveaway for tonight. It's kind of got a fatter collar, but that's easier to hide with chenille. It's a little bit harder to hide with the, right here is what I'm calling the collar, that band of thread. It's a little bit harder to hide with the Peacock herl, but I think if I keep using it and keep practicing with it, I'll probably get there. Let's see if that's in frame all the way around. Nope. Zoom you guys. Nope. Now let's try it. There we go. Yeah, let's tie another one. This is going in the giveaway. We're going to do a drawing tonight on this live right here. And yeah, release to the grease. I'll put you one back. I got to get some more stamps. Let me see what I got. I think I got enough to send out prizes tonight. If not, I'll go to the post office tomorrow and get them sent out. But I got to get more stamps anyway, so. But I think I've got, yeah, I've got enough stamps to send out for the winter. But release to the grease. I know you fish a lot and you do a lot of lives, and so you just be shouting me out. I'll probably send you some jigs every now and then. So Corey Harris, hi. Hey everybody, if you haven't already, I'd appreciate if you'd consider subscribing. We're gonna keep tying cool jigs. We're gonna go fishing on the weekends and whenever we can. Some kind of bait fishing during the week. Sometimes we go catfishing during the week. Catfishing for sure on the weekend. Sometimes white bass fishing, crappie fishing, you never know. All right, guys, let's get into this one. Now we got to kind of build up the body, so it takes a little bit longer to tie these jigs, because I want the body to be full, and that Peacock herl, it doesn't add a lot of body to your jig. So we got to build it up with the thread before we even get started with the with anything else, which we can go ahead and put on some feathers now. We got it built up quite a bit. Then we'll see how much further we need to go after we get that last one. We went with 3 pieces, so we'll do the same thing on this one. These are the feathers, guys. Now that I got you guys zoomed in, look how freaking cool these feathers are. And these are mallard flank feathers. And we're gonna need a third one. There we go. All right, we got our 3 pieces cut. We're gonna just come in like this. See, there's that vein I'm always telling you guys about. You just grab that, pull your feathers back, and then you got that stem or vein or whatever you want to call it. You have that left to attach it to the shank of the hook with. Release the grease. I'll figure out how to tag you in videos, and I'll do the same thing. Hey, if you don't mind me asking, where do you buy your jig hooks? I thought Temu was the jig hook plug, but the prices just doubled and the hook count. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really get a good deal on my hooks. I buy these Fish Corner, are starting to be some of my favorite ones. These Team O-Raw or whatever, I get them off of Amazon. These are the jig heads I tie without eyes. But these are kind of like my, let me zoom you guys back out for a second. These are kind of like my go-to, even for soft plastics, because I prefer to super glue soft plastics on there. I don't really like it when it leaves a bump in the soft plastics. But these two brands, Fish Corner and Team Ura or however you pronounce that. But the Team Ura jigs, you do get 50 jigs, and they're about the same price as these. The ones with the eyes, you only get, I believe 20 jigs. And the price difference between a 16th and a 32nd really isn't that much. I believe these might be an 1/8. Where's the, I don't know where the, no, they're 1/16. Yeah. So the 1/16ths, there really isn't a big price jump between the two. So those are my favorite ones so far. I had some other ones that I wasn't really that big of a fan of. I'm trying to find them so that way I can tell you which ones to stay away from. Yeah, these bomb bite ones, I didn't really care for them that much. I like the eye, but the hook just feels like it's real, like, I don't know, it's real bendy. It's hard to tie to, because all the jigs move around a little bit in the vise, like they're flexible, but they're crappie jigs, right? These hooks are extremely flexible, and I just don't like them that much. They probably have a place. Their place ain't with me. I used to paint my own jig heads, but now I'm starting to buy pre-painted ones with eyes like you're tying now. Yeah, and see, this is a thin wire hook too. This hook looks like the wire looks like it's the same thickness. Let me put them next to each other and zoom you guys in. They're the same style, they're just a different brand. Okay, so you can see the eye on this one. Let me get it over here. It's got like that Velociraptor slit eye, which I don't think I've ever seen on a fish. This one's got a traditional round eye, which seems to make more sense. But if I hold the wires next to each other, actually the bomb bite looks a little bit thicker, but it's just more flimsy for some reason. And when I'm tying the jigs, it's a pain in the butt because it's all over the place. Anyway, that's my only gripe. They worked. I tied them. I've caught fish with them. Caught several fish with them. I just didn't like how bendy they were in the vise. I'm heavy-handed, I guess, but I know there's guys out there tying microflies and stuff. And yeah, Jimmy, I thought about tying my own or painting my own jig heads and so on and so forth. But if you look at the price of eyeballs, and plus I work a full-time job, plus I want to go out and go fishing too. I don't want to just be sitting here tying jigs all the time. And if you were painting your own jig heads and stuff, it'd be really cool to have, your colors and your mixes and whatever. But unless you're trying to turn that into your 9 to 5, I don't really see how that's very profitable, or, by the time you spend all that time making jig heads, melting lead and painting them, putting eyeballs on them, it seemed like you could have just already bought some by then, And I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I think crappie is one of the dumbest fish. White bass, they're pretty dumb too. But crappie have got to be the dumbest. And I love catching them because they're dumb. If you can find them, you can pretty much catch them. Fishing with Tanner. And maybe if you win the drawing, we're doing a drawing here in a little bit. Let me zoom you guys back in real quick so we can finish tying this jig. We're spending entirely too much time on this. We're 19 minutes in and we only got 2 jigs tied, guys. If you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. We're going to tie this, for those of you that are just now tuning in, with Peacock Herl. Instead of using a chenille for the main body, we're taking and using some fly tying materials to tie crappie jigs, just to experiment. I want to know, like, what's the longevity, like how many fish can I catch before this green herl breaks, or this Peacock herl. I know that it takes forever to freaking tie a jig with it. For me, I'm sure there's a guy out there that's tied flies for a while that could probably just wrap this right up, but We're gonna get down through there eventually, guys. So I'll tell you guys a story from this weekend, and God put it on my heart not to post the video, so I deleted it before I changed my mind. But I was fishing, me and my daughter, we were underneath this bridge. If you guys watch my flathead video from this past weekend, then you'll know what I'm talking about. We were underneath this bridge, and we were fishing. Well, this pontoon boat pulls up, and at first, it's a little bitty small creek, but it is public water. So, I'm thinking this dude's gonna come and squeeze by me, and that's cool, whatever. But that's not what happened. He pulls up on my fishing spot. He has his, I'm guessing son or grandson, start throwing the throw net right where my lines are casted out. And then they pull up, and they get closer to me, and they're like, "Hey, are you catching any fish?" And I tell them, I said, I was until you guys got here. And he says, "Well, could you tell us where to catch some shad?" And I tell him, "Yeah, back at the boat ramp." Guys, I don't know, but it was pretty stinking rude to go pull into a spot where you see a guy fishing on a boat, and we're anchored up, and we're fishing, and then he just decides to, let's see if we can't do something with that little feather right there that's hanging down. Let's see what it looks like when we pull it out of there. There we go. Anyway, it was just rude for that guy to do that. Yeah, like I said, it's legal for me to record and do whatever I want to. And I thought about blasting him all over YouTube and Facebook and so on and so forth, because I had video footage of him doing it, And then when he left out of there, he was going out of the creek, and where my lines were casted at, I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I can. We were on a backwater creek, and the main river flows over here. The backwater creek, it comes over like this, and then it comes back up. We're sitting over here. Well, the river is flooded, so the banks are broke. So we're still in the creek, but you can only come in and out like this. There's trees in between the river and the creek, so you still have to come through the creek mouth. Well, he goes back by me after he's done throwing his throw net all up the creek, right? Which I told you is a small creek. Well, he goes up there and throws his throw net around. And when he comes back out, he idles past me. When he hangs his left and he's driving out to the main river channel, he trims down and punches it on his boat. And it just... Anyway, that's my gripe of the week. I don't want to gripe too much because I don't enjoy listening to griping, so I imagine you guys don't either. That's my gripe of the day. I appreciate that release to the grease. We're going to build this one up too. We're also tying this one with some different material. So we're going to go with a monkey milk theme, but then the chenille on this one is going to be some dry fly hackle. And man, I'm going to tell you, I tied one other jig with this stuff, and it comes out looking pretty dang sick, guys. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up. Not that little fuzzy thread right there, but this piece. Wait till we get to the body of this jig. Let me get some of this blue feather. We just need one piece of that. We're going with the monkey milk theme here. Let's see if I can find a better white feather than that. You see how some of these feathers they're too long. I don't like how I don't know how to explain it, but I don't like the way that feather is. I can pretty much tell. See, like where this one gets real fuzzy at, I don't like that part. I like this top part. I like that section of the feather better. So we're gonna use that section of the feather. Sometimes you get a pack of feathers and it's all just fuzzy like that, so you ain't got a choice. You just run whatever you got. But when I can choose it, there's a lot of inconsistency with buying feathers, guys. But they're also really, really cheap, so you can't complain too much. That's a cool thing about tying jigs, guys. You can literally make this as expensive or as cheap as you want to. We're gonna add a little bit more in on this side. Maybe on the top. This stuff right here, I literally got it from I literally got this from the Dollar Tree, and there's like 100 yards there, and I tie jigs with it and catch fish with it. I literally got it from the Dollar Tree. I think we got it from like the party section or something. I don't even know. We were there getting birthday stuff or something, and I saw that and I was like, yep, that looks like we can use it to tie crappie jigs. So here we are. Now here's the part we've all been waiting to see right here. It's gonna have a totally different appearance, guys. The body of this jig is gonna look so wild. Let me zoom you guys in. I don't even know. It's just too wild. We might have to give this one a dunk test to see what it looks like once it gets water on it. Because you know what it kind of reminds me of? One of them fuzzy caterpillars. Now let's tie that off, guys. And you can tell this is fly tying material now, right? I didn't particularly like the feathers that we tied that one with. Looks nice already. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so what we're gonna do with this one, I don't like the feathers on the other side, which you guys aren't picking that up on camera. I'll just pick it out here and turn it around. I don't like the feathers on this side. I don't like how that looks like that. It'll all mat together once it gets wet, so it won't really matter, but just for, you know, it should look like that. So I'm gonna keep that one for myself, and we're gonna retie another one for one of you guys to win. I don't want to be mailing out dog water. Yeah, I'm thinking that sucker I'm thinking it'll do work. See, I don't know. I need to do some more research. I don't know really that much about tying flies for trout fishing and stuff like that. But I think that dry hackle, I think it's saying dry at the beginning means it's for flies that float. And so I wonder if it would, since it's supposed to be dry and it's supposed to make a jig float, man, I'm gonna show you guys something I've been working on. All right, this is top secret stuff. how like wedge tails are like the thing right now. So I've been working on this wedge tail, and I'm gonna show you guys something cool. Okay, because 99% of the time, crappie do bite up. But there have been times where I've been fishing below the dam where we had high turbulence and there was like one creek and all the crappie were stacked in there, but they were all at the bottom. So I was bouncing jigs off the bottom to get bit. So now, this wedge tail, you see it? We're gonna put it in my fish tank and watch what happens, guys. You see how it stands up like that? I'm gonna move it over here. We're gonna put it on this rock. Look at that. It stands straight up and down. And so you can just twitch it, twitch it, twitch it, and it kind of lays down, twitch it, it lays down, twitch it, it lays down. Yeah, you ain't never seen that before. Not in a crappie jig. But crappie are just like bluegill, guys. And so I've been working on kind of perfecting this style of wedge tail. And so that's why we're using stuff for tying broader experience with tying jigs than just somebody that ties crappie jigs, because I also white bass fish. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I think that wedge tail right there, since I fish a lot of spillways and dams, I think that wedge tail is gonna go freaking hard. Because look, so you know, you get caught up all the time fishing below dams, but since this jig head, when it lays on the bottom, it doesn't lay on its side, so you're not going to get snagged all the time. When this one goes down to the bottom, it stands straight up and down, guys. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, no doubt, Reel of Life. Yeah. What do you think about that? Send some wedge tails? Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. This material, it was all dirt cheap too, man. I don't know. Like I said, Reel of Life and Release the Grease, you guys fish together? I seen you guys like, okay. Well, Release to the Grease, I have to send you some of these and you'll have to hook your cousin up. But anyways, I'll tie one of these and we'll throw that in there for a prize too. I'm gonna make the tail off camera because I ain't ready to make that public information or public access yet, but when we get to that point, I will do. But yeah, I like those a lot. Let's tie one more of these so we can get on down through there. Hey guys, if you're new, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. We're gonna tie some cool jigs, and yeah, we're gonna hang out and have fun, talk about fishing. See, these are those feathers that I don't know. It's like if they're not too long, then it's okay. But if they're like, you know, they just get too out there. And then you got some of these ones that look like they got hit by a stroke of the tism on the way out of the eggshell. So sometimes I just be going through feathers trying to pick out the right ones, throwing feathers away in the process. Like that one's just too much. The one that got hit with a stroke of the tism, that's too much. I guess we're gonna run this one. It's like the okayest looking one. I don't want to empty out every feather out of the bag. So we're gonna run one out of this one. This blue feather, like look at the difference. You may not be able to notice the difference. See all the feathers that are coming out and then bending down? There's not as many on this blue feather. I just like the way that it looks better, and it probably doesn't matter at all. But when I'm tying the jig, I just like them to look a certain way. Let me catch up here. Are they easier to make, the wedge tails? I haven't really came up with a way to do a wedge tail, but or a split tail, but the wedge tail that I tie, or I don't even know, I guess that's what it's called. The way that I tie it, it just works for me. I'm afraid if I added any more to it, okay, so the way that this works, this is also gonna, not only does it make it stand up, but it's also gonna slow it down. So you're gonna have more, in my opinion, my theory, you're gonna catch more fish on the fall because this jig has a slower fall rate, okay? So that's two different ways that you're gonna catch more fish using this style. If I was to make a wedge tail or a split tail, I'm afraid this sucker would float, guys. Like it, you'd be fly fishing for crappie then. But the white bass are gonna go hard on that too. Thank you, Eric Brown. I appreciate it. You know what else that jig's gonna be good for? I'll bet you it's good for smallmouth too. It's a light finesse. It's a light finesse jig. I mean, it has to be good for crappie. Top water. There's a pond that me and my wife, we used to go fishing at, trespassing, and then we got kicked off. But anyways, we were down fishing at this pond one time, and it was like early fall, and fish were busting all over the surface. And I don't know if I got one of the plugs in there or not, but I had these little like 3-inch wooden plugs. They were old school plugs, and there was crappie, and they was out there, and I didn't know it was crappie. And they was blowing up on that top water plug like they were bass, and I thought they were bass, and so I kept setting the hook like they were bass. 1, 2, 3, whack. Well, these are a 30-second. I like the 30-second. I like the smaller jigs, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I like using 4-pound test a lot, and so, but I do have 1/16. I just prefer. And a lot of times I fish 2 jigs in tandem, and so that gets me to a 1/16. But I prefer a 30-second. I like the slower the fall, the better. And when I can get away with it, I use an 84th ounce jig head, just because, like, again, the slower the fall, the more fish it seems like I catch, and that might all be in my head, but that's the way it seems like it works for me. Yeah, 30-second is all around if you want to fish in shallow creeks, to, fishing docks. It falls slow, but it doesn't fall so slow that it's just, annoying. If you try to go fish 15 foot of water with the 84th ounce jig head, waiting for it to get down there, man. Oh yeah, this one looks much better. This will be going away. Guys, I just thought of something. I'm still going to send it, but I don't know how it's going to look after shipping, because I don't know what it's going to do to these feathers, making them lay down like that. But it is definitely going in the giveaway prize. Which part, Michael Werner? Oh, okay. This is the first live you came across that makes sense. All right, let's see. Let's zoom you guys in. I think that's going to do it, guys. Let's move on. I want to tie some regular jigs. I don't want to just give away my weird oddball jigs. Let me cut something from this material here. And then we'll tie 2 of these wedge tails up. All right, so I guess we're tying one more experiment jig up just cause. Yeah, Corbin, I remember you. It's been a while. Let's see, we're gonna go with the orange. We're going with 32nd ounce, and we need to find that greenish black. Right here it is. Okay, this jig is a little bit different than most of them. So we don't really need to build up the body that much, but when we come down here, this is the part where that's a little bit different. And I did learn this this wedge tail tying trick, I think from CMJ Baits or CJM or something like that. I don't remember. But he goes live all the time on here. I'm sure you guys have all heard of him if you watch very many jig tying videos. But anyways, sometimes I listen to his videos when he's when I'm at work. I play him over the Bluetooth speaker, him or Ruben Flores. And anyway, I give credit where credit is due. And that little bump right there, let me zoom you guys in. You see how it goes? Starts at the shank, and then you have that little. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Focus. Okay, so you can see that bump there. That bump is important. It when you tie this wedge tail to the shank of the hook, it likes to form a. It likes to curl up on you. Well, that bump right there ends up making it lay flat. So that's why it's important. It's kind of a leverage thing, and it makes it straighten out. This is the annoying part. You got to put a million wraps on here, but it's a pretty unique bait, guys. That jig that nobody else is using below the dam. Albert Jones, what's up? The jig that nobody's using below the dam, nobody's using on the lake, nobody's using on their farm ponds. Literally, I've never seen this before. I've seen them make heads, jig heads that that would fall and land head first, you know, land like that and stand up. About 10% of the time. The weight of the bait and what bait you use depend on how well it stood up. But this guarantee is staying up. Living the dream. Real of life, I hear you. I need to take you guys all creek fishing on a live. I used to do that last year, and then this year I just broke my I had broke my tripod that held my phone that had adjustable legs. So now I only have my tripod for my my action camera. But I've hooked my action camera up and went live with it before, but I couldn't see my comments, and so I ended up, I don't know. Yeah, I went live and I could see the live, but I couldn't. I didn't have no way to reply to comments. Let's see, you guys ain't all the way in the frame, are you? Let's see. But yeah, I used to take you guys, we'd come in here and tie some jigs, and then we'd go down to the creek and throw them around and catch some, you know, whatever. Zoom you guys out a little bit. Now, as you can tell, I'm still learning this camera stuff. I just found out the other day I could zoom in while I tied jigs. This chenille's pretty cool too, guys. It's flat, but it's one of my favorites to tie with. We're gonna tie one more of these, and then we're gonna move on to the murder hornet. And so we went from 3 jigs in the giveaway to 5 jigs in the giveaway. Or I mean, 4 jigs in the giveaway, not 5. Well, really, we may do 5 jigs in the giveaway. I have 3 stamps here, but the reason I don't know if we're gonna send 4 or 5 jigs is plain and simple because I got these new envelopes, and I don't know how much it weighs. I can get 5 jigs in a standard flat rate envelope, and so I don't know. I might just send them in a regular envelope and put. Anyway, there's that jig. So actually, we're not going to tie a second one because I already have a second one. So we're going to move on to the murder hornet. This is one of my favorite patterns, and that's the only reason we're tying it, is just because I like to tie it. Yeah, it's literally one of my favorite patterns. This in the Orange Crush 'em series. Let's see. I thought I got out yellow and black feathers earlier when I thought I laid out 2 packs of them. I guess I didn't. Oh, there they are. I did get them out. I just put them down there. All right, guys. We're going to go with you guys that watch all the time. You know that I love a black undercoat on my jigs because I don't like them to look flat or just dull with one color. And so I like them two-tone. So here we go. We're going to get rid of that trash part of the feather. Oh, zoom you guys out a little bit. Just like this. All right, now we're gonna come back in with some of this yellow. If we can find a good yellow feather. No. That one, maybe. That one's a definite no. Yeah, I kind of like that one. We're gonna go with that one. Some of these other ones, they'll have to work, but these ones are gonna be good. So we're gonna snip that top off, get it out of the way, cut it about 1/2 inch and about 1/2 inch, and we're tying 2 of them, so we're gonna go ahead and get what we need. Let's see if we can find a good section in this feather. I feel like that'll do it right here. So now we got all that yellow feather we need. Throw that piece away. Zoom you guys in. All right, here's the special part, guys. There's a guy that's my friend that sells this. I'm not paid to say this, and he does not give this stuff to me. I pay him for it. And his name is Ruben Flores. But I love this bumblebee pattern chenille. He just has some different stuff that you can't get nowhere else, guys. And if you can get it somewhere else, I can't find it because I would sure probably be getting it. But I think he has them custom made. And I'm fortunate enough that he sells it to me. So I can tie some really cool jigs as well. But without him, that would not be... Well, I mean, it'd be possible because I still tie them out of other stuff. But he sells me the chenilles that I make my favorite patterns with. We'll put it that way. Look at that, guys. We ain't even done with it. But the murder hornet, guys. My daughters wanted me to name it the Yellow Jacket, but I feel like it's going to be killing stuff, and so Murder Hornet is the name. I fish and I'm 8. That's awesome. That's a good age to get in there. What is my favorite species to go for? My favorite species to go for is all of them. If you read my bio, I mostly catfish. But I go catch, I can't even honestly say that. I either go crappie fishing, white bass fishing, bluegill fishing, or some other kind of fishing before I ever go catfishing. I always try to have multiple options for bait. You're a big walleye guy? Yeah, I had a guy hit me up for to make some walleye jigs a while back. Yeah, guys, we're going to tie up another one of those. So this is what we got so far in the giveaway, guys. That's what we got that we're giving away. We got the monkey milk with this dry fly hackle. We got the murder hornet, and I haven't even named this one yet. And then we got this one that I also have not named yet. But this one we might name it Time to Stand Up because, you know, it stands up. I don't know. But anyway, so those are going to be the prize jigs just for the heck of it. Let me go ahead and get a pin, guys. How many of you are in here? 24? All right, let me fill you guys in on the rules. The rules are you can only comment one time. You can only guess one number, one time, and you have the next, let's see. When it gets to 55, 56, 57, 58, I'll give you guys 58 to guess a number, and there's only 17 of you in here. There's no numbers on the back of here. 17 of you in here. Okay, you guys have 3 minutes to guess the number that I put on here. And whoever guesses the number I wrote on here or closest to it wins. Oh, never mind. Let me put a new number on here. So we all know that 14's on here. I didn't know you guys could see that well. Nope. Ray Clark, we're gonna have to start over. Start over number, yeah. Okay, so we're marking out the 14, and now there's currently 15 people in here. So I wrote the new number there. When we're at 58 minutes, that's when the time is up. Yeah, I bet he was. I need to zoom this camera back in a little bit. Or aim it up. Someone already won. I was just going to let you guys keep guessing. But Eric Brown, you won. That's a 7. It's a shitty 7, but that's what it is. You can email me at ThatDamFishingGuy247@gmail.com. And release to the grease. I'm going to send you some of these. And I have enough to tie up a couple more murder hornets. And I got actually, I've got a bunch of murder hornets on my boat. I also have some murder hornets with I don't know which ones I'll send you. I don't know if they're going to be like this with the pink eye. The pink eye. The murder hornets like this with this like sunrise head with the pinkish purple eye. But I'm going to send you some murder hornets. But I really want to hear, I really want to know how you do on these. And so, no, I can't mail out everybody a jig, but I do giveaways. And if you guys remind me, I'll do them more often. Like when I'm doing a live, be like, hey, are we doing a giveaway tonight? And then I'll probably be like, you know what, that's a good idea. Because sometimes I just don't think about it and don't realize that I haven't done it for a month. Anyhow, well, I appreciate you not being picky, but I want to send you, I see you doing those crappie fishing lives and stuff, and so on and so forth. And you and your cousin, you try them out and you shout me out. But I want honest opinions of these wedge tails, you know. Yeah, and so it'd be great to have someone that is, you know, you're not paid, you're not sponsored, and you just word of mouth can help a guy out, or it can hurt a guy. But I think that what I'm doing is really good, and so I think that it will help. And so, yeah, I want to send you some jigs. Anyway, guys, I'm out, y'all. Have a good one. Did you get my email? Let me make sure that this person got the email. Okay. All right, you guys have a good one. Stay blessed. I'll catch you guys on the next one. If you haven't, subscribe.